Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, beware the coming of showtime. Hi guys, I'm back. So I did figure out one important thing, which is why I was thinking, it doesn't make any sense that the Spriggan form just doesn't seem to go with the totems, and it's because of the stupid max roll build paradigm. Max roll. I hope I said max roll, not Maxwell. Max roll, which is level your character up to 70 and then swap over to your build. So I won't be using the totems when we actually get to the build. And basically, I think I need the chest before we can make that swap. So, or even consider making that swap. I will definitely make it earlier than 70, assuming I can get all the currency I need before 70. We need 30 of those. I don't see the bones. The woven echoes. Anyway, here we are. And I picked up, I guess I picked up additional one or two. One. Cemeteries more common. Yeah, we would like more common cemeteries. So the build will change hugely when we get to the point where we can finally actually play Thorns, which is why I was so confused. Ooh, wait, let's see, where were we? We were over here being all shamani about it. I think it's just 2. I think we go here to Avatar of Thunder, but we're going to check because I want to get these things right. It's important to get things right. Looks like 5 out of 5? 3 out of 5 go there. Back it up. Yeah, we just go 3 to 5 out of there. Interesting. Oh, it is only a 3-point bonus. Okay. That explains that then. Into the catacombs. I'd rather go to the Doggacombs. They're much more welcoming. All the mobs there are happy to see you. Oh. There we are. Well, what do you know? I'm dropping kabooming stuff on everything that crosses my path. Like that. Oh, yeah. How you like them apples? They're not like apples, real apples. But, I wouldn't have thought I could jump that far. And we're done with that. How unfortunate. That was delightful. I liked that. And now I'm hitting things again. They all deserve it too. We would like to also grab. So we're grabbing helms and boots right now and rings. Any of those that drop might be interested in. Something hit me rather unpleasantly hard. Not a fan. of being hit unpleasantly hard, by the way. Good evening to whomever has joined me. What is hitting me? What is continuing to freaking hit me? Yeah, over here. I remembered, I think. Nope, I misremembered. Pretty sure. Nope, nope. Did I? Did I misremember or remember? Correctly remember. What is it if you remember to remember something? The exiled mage is not worth the trouble. Sad to say. I in fact did go the wrong way. So I did not remember to remember. I failed to remember. I forgot to remember. Something is hitting me in the... Oh, those things spit. That's what it is. Those spitting jerks. I don't have any life gain on whack of various things. So those are being a little more problematic than they might usually otherwise be. Note to self, maybe getting a little bit of life gain on whack wouldn't be a bad choice. A little bit of leech, as it's sometimes called. We will open that beastie thing in a second after we pop up some unfriendly mobs. I'll park myself. Oh, that looks like poison. We don't like poison because it poisons us. Missed me, you loser. You great big unpleasant loser, dude. Oh my god. Alright, a couple more petals. So I think we need like 19 more. No, 9 more, I think. We're here, and we will put our second point in there. This is increasing our spell lightning damage. And when we get to 3, we also get pen. Lightning pen. We have another point, so from 9 to 10 in Gathering Storm. Bear with me a sec. 9 to 10 in Gathering Storm. 9. 10. Concentrated Storm increases the damage. Stormbolt frequency. Target area slightly smaller. So, tomorrow, I expect I'll be playing this, but I might take the day off and get ready for the PoE 2 League, which is coming up on Friday. It was funny today, I was watching some streamers doing prep work by quote-unquote speedrunning the PoE 2 Act 1, and the results were very funny for me, who is something of a PoE 2 detractor, to watch the PoE 2 hard cases doing things like, okay, I'm just going to auto attack, because that's the only way I can hit this thing. There's one of them, and another was, oh god, I missed last Epoch. I can guarantee you none of the PoE pros ever said, oh god, I miss last Epoch about PoE 1. That just never happened. And a unique. But it's always the same. It's singularity. Rings, good. We like rings. Maybe an amulet. That's the 3 points in there that we were looking for. Per 5 attunement is 2% lightning pin, and we're currently at 23. So that's like 8% lightning pin. We've gone from 15 to 16 in Thorn Thingy. 14, 15, 16. Looks like it's 15 to 16. I already have a point in that. Why do I have a point in that already? Let's count off. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1. Sorry. 2, 2, 1. Oh, we're going this way. Interesting. Not quite sure why. Impale. Weird. Okay. I got messed up somehow. That's not news, by the way. And the Spriggan form, 16 to 17. 14, 15, 16, 17. Should be 3 here? Why am I 4 there? What the hell is going on here? Why are my builds messed up? Evidently, we're supposed to have 5 there. I must have removed a piece of equipment and put it back on, and so I lost a point and gained a point. Something along those lines. Ooh, everything's if everything's a critical strike, nothing is. No, that's not accurate for a game. In a game, if everything's a critical strike, freaking everything is. Thank you. And that's a good thing. Whoop! Something. Poison. The guy dropped the poison when he dies. My hit points are still pretty low. I'm not a hit point machine so far. And I definitely could use some more of that. All right, we've got a Nemesis. Always entertaining. It's a new one. Ooh, Mana Guide. Amulet while channeling. Focus. Primalist Kite and Helm. That's not looking particularly interesting. None of these are looking interesting to me at all. I simply don't see myself ever channeling Focus. Even in my mages. So we're just going to go ahead and challenge it and beat it up. Like that. We'll grab the helm. Oh, we've got a couple more. Goodnesses. 15 to 16 in Storm Totem. Now we're getting the one that we took off because it didn't make sense. Now it finally makes sense. Is that the one? No. Well, we'll find it by looking the old-fashioned way. That's the one. Never made sense because I didn't have Stormstrike. Now I do. And speaking of which, we have a point on Stormstrike. From 10 to 11. Yep. Now it'll be interesting to see what the already good Storm Totem does. Now that instead of seems good, now instead of using its previous attacks, at least some of them are now my Storm Strikes. And basically get the entire Storm Strike spec tree that I have spec'd. Poison. Kind of a jerk with the whole poison thing. Not gonna lie, he's a jerk. Also, yeah, he's a great big larva. And really nobody likes larvae. Especially if they're the size of a freaking subway car. I'm sure it's not his fault. He probably had a bad upbringing. Because his mother was a blowfly. I don't understand why we have these sort of interstitial maps. That little map we were in, go from one to that little placeholder map. I don't know what the technical details are for why they have that in place. And why you wouldn't, say, for instance, put the waypoint there. I'm sure there's technical reasons. There's certainly no narrative reason for it. How about if I turned on my my minion pets to be aggressive? How about try that?
On my signal, go to the center of the device and get ready. I'll get us out of here.
I've had them all on guard, which is probably the bad choice. But we'll find out if it's a bad choice relatively quickly, presumably, because if I die, it wasn't a bad choice. It was the right choice. If I don't die, it still might have been the right choice. A little bit of more mana return. Oh, I didn't even notice that we had the... You could just croak, sir. Okay. Huh. I assumed that the primals cannot be ascended to. I don't know that for a fact, but that's my assumption. We're going to open the rift. Make it slightly bigger. That's just the biggest storm totem that I can launch. It's doing a pretty fair job on the poor little critter. Go, couple more petals. Grab the ring, of course, because rings are something we can improve on right now. The Rust Lands. sense. So we'll be heading back in time real soon. Well, that champion did not last very long, but something managed a nice chunky hit on me. Not a fan. Let's go back in time. To the verdant lakes. They must be lovely. It's verdant. It even says so. Right. And somehow we've got gold waiting for us. Well, who doesn't like that? A couple of things I would like to keep an eye out for is the life leech or health on max. And also, did I hear one of the little jerks? One of the... Maybe not. I did. There he is. I sneak around behind him, or in front of him. Alright, we got him. He dropped a boatload of idols. Oh, sure. We'll just pick them all up. Why not? This way, I think. That was the worst jump in history. Well, I mean, for distance. For altitude, it was okay. Glyph of Envy changes item's subtype to a different one with the same class, requiring when adding it, upgrading an affix. I've never done that before. Is that one of the new ones? The thing I should look at doing is ascending a couple of shields. Because we're supposed to have a specific shield eventually. And there aren't a boatload of shields, so... And Orkirian goes down. Let's see where we go next. We have just gotten the 3 in Avatar of Thunder from here. Protective Circle. We'll only be putting 3 in there, evidently. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's another with a 3-point bonus. No, it's not. Guess we're going to put a couple points somewhere else before we advance here. Physical resistance per active totem, elemental resistance per totem. Why per active totem and per totem? Totem all resistances are plus 3 point. That's very weird wording. That it's physical resistance per active and elemental resistance per. Are there inactive totems that of which I am not aware? Another point, 11 to 12 in our Storm Strike. We're at 11. More damage, more Storm Bolt, cast frequency. Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm. Storm Strike, I keep calling it. Deals more damage, multiplicative, and you expend Storm stacks more frequently, but Storm Bolts target enemies within a smaller area. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. More damage multipliers, always good. Did I hear him again? Thought I heard the little snickering type sound of the of one of the loot lizards, but I guess we'll kill them for XP because, well, they're just standing there begging me to murder them. How could I say no? Well, I mean, I could have said no. I could have opened my mouth and just said no.
Right. And if it weren't for you, I'd still be in the Primalist.
We need to also start looking at one-handers, I guess. That will give us lower damage, but better some life leech or heal on hit. And some more mana would be good. As we're getting occasionally a bit low on those. Oh, again, I have jumped straight up in the air. Which was not my intent, I can assure you. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with leaping straight up into the air. It's just not especially effective as a tactical exercise. See, that's much better. I mean, up in the air, sure, but also for distance. Void squirrels! Oh, I have not yet had the void squirrels. Gotta say, void squirrels pretty good. Get him, squirrels. Thank you. So, Kestrel and an entire green set. Oh, the squirrels. I still have the squirrels. I'm not sure why I still have the squirrels. Do they, like, last until you change maps? That doesn't seem likely, but I don't have a buff for them. So. We'll be back. We gotta get ahead of this guy to chase him back. And no, you're supposed to go the other way, you jerk. There we go. And be the shield I want. Not the shield I want. And we had down here something else drop. Be the shield I want. No. One-handed axe. I already have a cleaver solution. Oh my god, it doesn't fit. Why are you the way that you are? Alright, we still got everybody? Yes, we do. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And then do not walk into the poison, is what I was in the middle of saying when he one-shot me. Or maybe I'm enslaved by a poison burst. Yeah, I must have walked into the poison. Like an idiot. Alright, that's, I think, 2 deaths on this character. What the fuck? What? I can't type into the typing field. And I don't know why. It's not showing anything coming from my keyboard. I don't know why. I did find out one thing, which was why it seems like it's not just me, but that it's a bug unfixed for at least 2 years. Oh, he's still alive. EHG, why is it that this bug is still in the freaking game? Where when you connect, it forgets every time what your screen settings are and defaults back to full screen. How is this a thing in the year 2025? Where you have to, every time I log in or connect, I have to reset my fucking screen settings. Now, I thought I'd fixed it by following somebody's instructions on Reddit, but sadly it didn't actually fix it. It just seemed like it had fixed it. Ding 40. But seriously, what the hell kind of bullshit is that? That your application doesn't remember your fucking settings. EHG, would you like to explain to the class, please? No, I didn't think so. All right, what do we got? Pillager's Gold. Throwing fire damage with burning daggers. Throw a burning dagger when you drink a potion. Who freaking cares? If you're drinking a lot of potions, you're either on one of those very tiny number of builds where you drink potions all the time and have a buttload of potions to chug, or you're in deep, dark danger and one burning dagger is not going to help. Will empower it once because I'm a nice guy. I do want to be clear to EHG. I'm not kidding about what the fuck is with not remembering the settings. What's the point in settings if they don't actually change anything? If every time you boot, it insists on reverting to what you had there by default. That's not a setting. Their solution, which was offered not by EHG, who either are completely unaware, which I find impossible to believe, or don't give a shit, or can't, or aren't smart enough to figure it out. Mind you, this is the same sort of complaint I levy on other game companies. When there's a bug that they can't or won't fix, it's either they lack the will, they choose not to, or they lack the skill because they're not smart enough. Where were we again? The Oracle's boat, I think. It just drives me nuts. A bug like that being unfixed for years. But again, driving me nuts. Not that difficult. Pretty straightforward and easy, actually. I'm going to go out on a limb and say. Not much of a limb, really. That one's Primalist. Cooldown recovery speed. Minion chance to poison on hit. Not useless by any means. I'm pretty sure we're out of freaking space again. Yeah. Time to start actually like reading them and deciding which ones I might ever use and selling the others. While I'm complaining about things that are inexcusable, this NPC doesn't belong in any game. Ever. You click on him. Good to meet you? Yes. Click again. Is that a fruit behind you? Take one of the fruit. Need help with the fruit supply. Not unless you've got manure on you. Okay? The other alternative is to talk to him, guessing you're a shopkeeper. Is that fruit behind you? Or shop. The only reason anyone's ever, and I mean fucking ever, going to want to talk to a guy with the armor icon over their head is because they want to sell shit. Don't give us 2 fucking clicks to get to the shop. Just give us the shop. I have no idea how on earth this makes it into any game. Ever. Bleed and minion attack Primalist. The attack speed probably make that one worth keeping. Armor and fizz resist. Echo damage and chance to inflict time rod. I don't think that ever gets used. One of my few constant complaints about this game is the conversational option with the NPCs. Just get rid of it. Just fucking trash it. Almost none of it is needed for any purpose. A decayed skull. It just gets in the way. And we did get the monogun. Okay. Oh, and the singularity. Summon a thorn totem on hit. Aspect of the viper. I don't see those ever being used together. Ignite duration and ward per second. That could get used. Bleed on hit. Physical damage. That could get used. Ignite and cold damage. I don't believe that would ever get used. Idols with contradictory or, see, here we go again, affixes that make no sense together in any conceivable world have always irritated the hell out of me in ARPGs. It's like, can't we just not give me something with fire damage and cold damage? Or at least have it preferential, where if you get fire damage as the first affix, you have a lower chance of getting any other specific element with it and a higher chance for, say, ignite in this game. That makes sense to me, rather than completely random. I'm in rant mode tonight. Woohoo! We don't want that. Let's see. We want that for the companions and the totem damage. We're not going to want that, or that, or that more. Gloves. I'm not doing much elemental. That should be doing elemental damage when I whack things, and I should be leeching. I'll have to double check on that, see if I am actually leeching. Melee attack speed, poison resist.
Can I help you?
This is such a good game. But I feel I must be critical when I think something is genuinely bad. Conceivably that could get used. Mana and minion damage, that's better. What do we have here? Lightning, that one's got to go. Do any of these got minion? I've got an idea. Well, we've got a couple of those do have minion, because I can see by their little image what they are. That's got minion damage. Critical strike, poison, regen. Chance to apply frailty. I think that's better. Oh. Well, why not just grab 3 of these and throw them up there right now? Because we can. Some poison, some necrotic. Yeah, that's fine. And these two. Elemental damage. Minion damage. Lightning, fizz. That's got... Yeah, that's better. Minion damage. Well, okay. You talked me into it, you smooth-talking bastard. So that is 34% increased minion damage. And this one's got... fuck all. In the language of the old ones.
Can I help you?
Have I mentioned how much I don't like the stupid conversational interface? I might have. And that's, between the two of them, that is 70% increased minion damage. That strikes me. Strikes as
I
good.
help you?
Oh my god. The worst NPC in any game ever. And I'm sticking with that description. I think over here. No, it's one. Yep, there we are. All right. Meet Alrek at the aqueduct. Oh, I didn't return to the Shining Cove yet. Oh, well, I should do that. That's a side quest, but we'll do that now. Yeah, it does look like I am getting some life gain on that. Not much, though. What the hell was damaging me there? I don't know, but my pets were and are still bleeding. Or poisoned, or something. Who's hurting my birds? We're off to the ruined coast. I forgot I did want to check the next time we were in. But next time we're in a real base, so to speak, we will check on if I can find a better one-hander. Maybe not as much damage, which is fine. But with... whoops. Yeah. You know it. You love it. Okay, well, maybe you don't love it. But anyway, it's... That's the chittering noise that you get from the goofy little things. Sickle might be okay. Popsicles. They definitely would be okay. Things I've not had for probably 30 or 40 years would be popsicles. I was actually thinking about things historical earlier today. You know, the way old folks think about the past. And for some reason, I was trying to think of, like, the oldest sort of historically significant thing that I could think of that I remember from being when I was a kid. You know, not when I slipped getting out of the bathtub and cracked my shin and had to go get stitches. No, I'm talking about historical stuff. Oh, well, we got a chest. We'll open the chest. And the first thing that came to mind was the assassination of Bobby Kennedy, which would have been in '68, I think. You'll notice that his son is now the idiot in charge of public health in this country. But it is a large number of years ago, and undoubtedly most of you have never really heard or thought much about it, if at all. But what came to my mind immediately was the assassin. I know we're on a bit of a dark tangent here, but it's fine. The assassin was Sirhan Sirhan. And what's noteworthy about him, other than the fact that he has the same first and last name, which struck me as really weird as a kid, like a 7-year-old kid. It was the first time I had ever heard of anyone being described as a Palestinian. Isn't it nice that the Middle East has managed to solve all of its problems in the intervening almost 60 years? Travel back to the Ruined Era. No, back to the Imperial era. Thank you. And back to the oracles above. You know, I was one of those kids who would look at maps. I loved maps as a kid. I had no idea, where Palestinians even came from. I believe it was 3 in there. I know now, by the way. And then next we're going back into Fate Carver for probably 1 to 3 points. So that gives us 3. Presumably, actually, we're going to probably need... No, I was thinking maybe you needed 3 to get it, whatever is there, but no. But we are in a safe place. We will salvage that. Shatter it, if you will. Sell that one, and we're going to take a quick, and, well, I say quick. God, this fucking interface. Let's see. How about we look up one hand. That's level 60. Can't use that. Level 60, can't use that. Weaver's Will. Inflict spiders. Oh, yeah, that's terribly creepy. Melee critical strike multiplier for you and your minions. Damage leached as health on melee for you and your minions. Melee critical, melee damage. All right, now we're doing 385 with a whack. 380 with a whack, I'm fine with 380 with a whack. But we do... No, that's level 68. We are not, in fact, level 68, so we can't use that. Nothing there we can use. Smite. We can't smite. It's not in our skills, man. Swords. That is 51. That's the Cleaver Solution, which we just looted a non-legendary version of. Mana regen. Intelligence equal to your strength. +1 to all skills. That's not bad at all. Let's see. 380. $393. Not much of an improvement, but it is an additional 1 for each skill. Is this going to mess with my skills? I bet it does. When I removed it, I bet I now have a free point in all of my skills. No, it remembered. Thank you, EHG. All right, where were we? We were here, I think. Or here. Yeah, there. We've got swords. Melee damage per 2 attunement. Chance to cast smite now. Smite. Blech. There's the other Cleaver Solution. Alright, so we can put this... Where was it? Clear that off. That there. We might want to swap to that eventually, but I would like to get the Weaver's Will on this. And also, the opportunity to inflict spiders on melee hit. It's pretty tempting. I already have a Weaver's Will here, so it's actually going to be a 40% chance to inflict spiders every time I whack something. What's not to love about that? I mean, unless you're the thing I'm whacking and you don't care for spiders. I have no idea what the spiders do, by the way. Not a hint of a clue. Are they pets? Doesn't seem like it. I keep checking really quickly to see if I'm getting any sort of pet invocation. I am not. I have no idea what the spiders do. 0. Poison? I'm going to go out on a limb and think poison, maybe? I have no idea what a Gordian prism is. I don't think I remember ever seeing that before. I assume it's a rune keeper thing. Yeah, rune invocations. Prism was the giveaway. Directly cast 3 rune invocations. Always cast Grand Prism Nova instead. Grand Prism Nova's base damage is converted based on the runes used to invoke it. Gains 58% chance to ignite, shock, or chill per rune. Per any rune or per the appropriate rune? Like fire, cold, lightning. 10% chance to not consume runes when invoking per unique rune. Oh, so if we use all 3, we use 1 fire, 1 cold, 1 lightning, it has a 30% chance to not consume the runes, allowing you to recast it again. Increase elemental damage, that's significant, and nice ward decay. I have never seen that before, as far as I know. I mean, I probably have, I just don't recall. And once again, a nemesis. Fire resist on the Pillager's Gold. Endurance on the Ring of the Third Eye. Third Eye. That's an old guy movie reference right there. Stun chance. Nothing on that. That's disappointing. Minion health, not that big for us. We're just going to challenge, I think, so we'll... He's dead. Since I was slagging on the devs, allow me to compliment the devs on how good of an addition the Nemesis system was. It's so much fun. It's just a very, very fun addition to the game. And I was watching... I've been enjoying watching streamers from other games who are discovering Guild Wars 2. And so I was watching Zepla earlier. She was originally a WoW streamer, I think, and then Final Fantasy. And she's been playing and loving it. But today she's playing WoW, but talking about how on Friday she'll be playing PoE 2, same as me. Gosh, it's like we're brother and sister. But she was reading the announcement for the PoE 2 League, or an article for it, maybe, basically saying where they're bringing back something and fun. And she was just laughing herself sick, going, wow, why would you want to add fun to a game? I mean, who does a thing like that? And the truth of the matter is, holy shit, does PoE 2 need fun added to the game in the biggest, worst possible way. And that's what I had observed watching PoE streamers earlier today trying to play the 0.2 version. And having less fun than you might want to have. Let's just put it that way. I believe I already detailed some of the things the streamers were saying. It's like they forgot. Like they had turned into what has become something of a gaming fetish, sadly, which is Souls-like games and the need for them to not just be challenging, but for them to be outright difficult and unfun at times. Now, the fun or unfun in something like the Souls game is going to be very, very dependent on the things you find fun. I have no interest in the Souls games because I don't find anything fun in a game that is built on frustration. Which is unfortunate because, I mean, the games look great and they've got this weird, wacky, kind of surreal lore going on. Is he coming back? He did. I would love to play them, but they have that fetish about, haha, we have to be difficult so that we can appeal to the elitists. No, they're just being true to their artistic vision. Oh, really? Then why do they have Game Plus mode? If they're being true to their artistic vision, then they wouldn't have a Game Plus mode. But they do. Which shows you that, in fact, their incredible devotion to their vision is bullshit. That they could make a game minus mode, they just don't want to. Because it appeals to the elitists out there. Ooh, that's a champ. Why did he run all the way over there? Oh, he's still alive. No, he's not. More petals, more bones, more goodies. Let's just start murdering stuff. Did I hear the chitter again? Maybe not. Looks like I did not hear the chitter. I just wanted to hear the chitter. They're so adorable when they give you an enormous amount of fat loot. Alright. Another point, I believe. We were down to Fate Carver for 6, and beyond that, 7, 8. We do go to 8 in Fate Carver. And then to someplace new. So 2 more there, and then we go to Storm Elder. Well, I've got the Elder part covered, that's for sure. Minion Cold, Minion Lightning. Oh, we also have a point in Gathering Storm. We are at 13. And point 14 goes to... Nope, 12. 13. That's 14. Is that right? That is right. Okay. Yay. So, still more damage from our Stormbolt casts. I think that's what the Storm Totem is now firing off. So we're buffing Storm Totem indirectly by buffing Gathering Storm.
We can't all be. And when he fled, I saw him heading to.
The heart of the citadel is beyond. There is an exit near the Emperor's throne, giving you a chance to stop.
Oh, what do we hear? A fleshy human? I'm just a skeleton in a suit. I ask since, well, I've got merchandise that fits your outsides, an exoskeleton for the soft. A sale, what do you say? At least this one's mildly interesting. What does this one got? A little bit of minion damage, not much. Has it got any? Yeah, it's got forging potential. Let's see if we can't buff that up a little. We'll drop these into the box of unique items. More minion damage, please. And more. More! Give me more! Nice. Physical resists would be good. And we're done for that item. That one has got 2 forging potential left. We have no totem damage. We need to find stuff with more totem damage so that we can, because it's doing a lot of our damage, obviously. That's got potential left. Minion? Not yet. Health? We could add health. We'd really rather have minion, though. Minion damage. Wow. And this one also needs 43, so we're currently at 41. We need 2 more levels.
Impossible.
Nests of the Fallen. Once again, I have jumped straight up in the air and straight back down. That was not my intended path, I can tell you. Oof. All kinds of goodness added here. Let us see. We'll start over here. 16 to 17 in Storm Totem. 16 to 17 is a 4th point. There. God damn it. Fourth point in Lightning Raider. 16 to 17 in Thorn Totem. A point in a second point. I'm missing something somewhere here. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1. That's 2, 2, 1. 2, 2. I didn't get the 1. There we go. Shred Armor. And 17 to 18 in Spriggan. 4th point in, what's that armor? We already had that. We're here again. 4, 4, 1, 3. 4, 4, 1, 3. We've got 5, 1. 5. We didn't get the 1. Probably, again, it got peeled off earlier when I was swapping gear around, and then I added a point to where I thought I was supposed to be putting it, and this one was empty. Gain ward equal to your armor when you enter Spriggan form. See why that would be good. Although entering Spriggan form won't be happening for quite a while for reasons I detailed earlier. Well, another level. Level 42. Wasn't that a band? I think it was a band. I was assumed. if I'm remembering correctly, that they were indeed a band. I think I am. That they were named after Douglas Adams' Life, the Universe, and Everything, meaning the universe being 42. The answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything. Something Maggot Tongue was that guy's name, and that is about as unfelicitous a name as any being could have. Oh, he's back. Back to the Haven. Cashing the quest. Check our goodies, inevitably.
Killed him? If we pull this off, maybe I can give us some good news for once, eh?
Not a whole bunch. At all. Minion health. The physical skills is nice, but I don't think it's necessary any longer. Might be better later than it is now. So belts are something I can keep an eye on. We did get 2 good rings. That's got good damage. Our booties. They got a lot of forging potential. We could do something with them. Surely we could do something with them. Not much on the movement speed. I need to keep my eyes open and peel affixes off for movement speed. But that'll help. More physical resist. More armor. That helped. Okay, let's see. This. So far we've got 3 tiers of Void Pin and Minion Void Pin. This is not floating my boat, gotta say. We Primalists, we're not really big on void stuff. That's more Void Knighty and acolytish. Like to keep this current weapon at least until we get all of the Weaver stuff out of it. More of the same. That is 4 out of the 11 affixes already applied to freaking Void Pen. Amulet of Purity, well, I don't need that because I'm already so pure. The damage numbers have certainly gone up with the changing weapons. And I imagine that the change in the Storm Totem has helped too. Ew. In the sewers, there's a big flow of greenish-brownish water. I don't think I want to know. I just don't think I want to. Pardon me? 13 to 14 in Gathering Storm. That's not what I wanted at all. Try that again. That one, 13 to 14. We are sitting at 14. Why are we sitting at 14 already? A second point there. The next one will go into Tempest Weapon. So this is Stormbolt Shock Chance and melee damage to shocked. Spell damage per 3 melee damage. Reduced effect on the Storm Totem. Destroy the Imperial Watchers. Fortunately, they have a very convenient path if you know where they're going. They will all path right to you. And I know where they're going. That's not it. There's the one. There's the second one. Or possibly third, I didn't catch it. Everything dropping poison on the floor when they die is just kind of a dick move. There's another one. You know, it's just poor sportsmanship, really. If you're dying, you know, take it like a proverbial man. Now here comes the next one. I think we'll take care of it, and then we'll grab the... Is it coming? It's coming. Then we'll deal with the Nemesis. Back to the Nemesis we go. Oh, another level? How terrible. What dreadful, awful news that is. Okay, that's it for that. What do we got? Hands of Judgment. I know we want those for this build, actually. Oh. I'm gonna empower it once. It's the fucking cold guy again. We hate him so much. He is the worst, and it's not even close. The poison guy's bad, but the freaking cold guy is the worst. The Immortal Summit. I think it's named after the basketball coach of the women's basketball team at Tennessee. It's not. But her name was Pat Summit. See what I did there was... Damage is definitely better with it. Whoops! We're from the Storm Totems now. Weavers, the Nest of Nightmares, got to be getting relatively close to being finished. With all of its de-weavering. Another one. Another level! Another champion! Can we just finish in place? Thank you! Pick up all the gold that was dropped from the gold shrine. I love gold! Let's go in and face the Immortal Emperor.
The undead are prideful, as many weak men are.
Next up, I think, was Storm Elder. Pretty sure. Wrong way. Right way. Yes, Storm Elder came next. And how many points are going in there? 3 again. Weird. Minion cold and minion lightning damage. Percents.
I've been expecting you. Do not look surprised.
You should have seen this. You know, yes.
I've heard your power. Let's see how you play. No more pains. You. Why are you here?
Hit the right button at the right time, Lens. It ain't that difficult, frankly.
Now's our chance. Quick, use Herot's lance.
And we're back in time. Again. Back to our original time that we're originally from way back when. We've got 5 Weaver's Will points left. We now have, oh my god, it went up to tier 7 of Void Pin and Minion Void Pin. And now tier 1 of Melee Fire. I am disappointed. We'll finish out the last 5 tiers. And go looking for something a little bit better for this build.
Back in my time. Wait, I recognize these mountains. I must hurry.
I'm back in my own time. Oh, he's back. Something hit me. I've warned you guys to stop hitting me, or there will be consequences. I'm not sure what the consequences will be. They'll be really minor, though. We have got another beast, or are we going back further in time? We are going to travel to the ancient era, boys and girls. And I'm going to AFK for a second and refill my coffee cup. I believe the phrase your kids would use is jebaited. I'm back. All right, let us see how close we are. All right, we need 3 more leaves and about 5,000 more bones. We could probably trade for the leaves, right? We want to buy the leaves. Those require fangs, so we could buy 1 leaf. So not quite enough, but...
These paths will not go to waste.
We'll see if we can manage to get through this without getting murdered. These are no freaking joke. More bones. Good. Dem bones, dem bones, dem ancient bones. 68 more bones there. 70 something there. Those are nice numbers of bones when you need like 5,000 or whatever. Anything else back? Oh, they thought they would. Aggravated honey. Apparently, the honey in this era is extremely angry. Let me click on something here that I screwed up. That would be it. And there we are. Back again. Sorry. My apologies. We are 14 to 15 in Gathering Storm. 14 to 15 in Gathering Storm. 14 was there. 15 is there. Tempest Weapon. Spell damage per 3 melee, +1. Reduced effect on Storm Totem. Again, reduced effect on Storm Totem. It really is honey. It's aggravated honey. Which, I'm just guessing now, doesn't actually end up having bones? Because it wouldn't make sense for even pissed off honey to have bones. It had bones. Maybe it's like the whatever bees are creating the honey are dropping their honey around corpses. That had some more bones, which is good. We need lots of bones. No bones about it. Oh my god. It just never freaking stops, does it? Pretty much no. Alright, we're gonna... Get it. Got it. We got another 200, 300 bones there.
Another glorious hunt.
Yeah, we got like 1,000 bones out of that. So we're getting much closer. We need 1 more freaking feather. And what, 4,200, 4,300, 4,230 more bones. All right, so the lineage is complete. So we evolved that one as far as we could evolve it. We'll start a new lineage. We need bones. So, wow, okay, that gave us a shitload of bones. Evolution's end.
Choice of A.
That was another, what, 500 bones. Good. Now this is just freaking good. All right. +1 to all skills. That seems like a plus. 40% increased minion damage when a hit leaves a boss or champion below 40% health. Will summon the Rift Beast. The Wrist Beef. I've got wrist beef with you, man. My wrist is just killing me. Rift Beast for 15 seconds. The beast we just killed, we will summon for 15 seconds anytime a boss is below 40%. 40-second cooldown. We want to wear this and increase all of our skills by a point. It has a range of 1 to 2, and we got 1. +4 to all attributes, that's good. We did well on the resistances roll. We did poorly on the movement roll. All told, probably slightly below average because the skills would probably be the most important thing. Resistances is certainly nice, though. To all resists, too. Delicious. So, all of our skills have an additional point now. Storm Totem, 17 to 18. 17 to 18. Static Field, Shock Chance. 17 to 18 in the Thorn Totem. 17. 18. 40% chance to shred armor. 18 to 19 in the Spriggan form. Deep Roots, Thorn Shield duration. We're going to eventually be summoning up Thorn Shields around ourselves, so that makes sense. And 15 to 16 on Gathering Storm. 15 to 16. Second point here in Tempest Weapon. Additional spell damage per 3 melee damage. Okay. Now when we start evolving the next beast, we will emphasize bones. We had emphasized feathers on this one to get us to where we are, which is like 29 or 30 of the 30 we need. We were going this way. We've got a belt. Thornslinger, which is, I believe... Quite the coincidence. 6/6 29/45, 6/6 40/25. So this one also has the increased minion health because it's legendary. Oop, he's a champion. Nope. Oh my god. That thing got me down to like single-digit health. I'm fine. I walked it off. I'm good. That wasn't close at all. I hardly felt anything. Definitely a case of pain don't hurt. Old guy movie reference. Level is 45. Nemesis. Oh, yes. We got 12 attunement on that. We just want a challenge here, I think. Because we want that with 12 attunement a lot. Because it has 8 attunement. And this will give it 20, which is about as good as we could hope for. That is why the ice one is such a bastard. He's constantly dropping really honking big AEs. Can I use that now? I can. Goodbye, Avarice. It's been nice knowing you. Extra melee damage per attunement for judgment. We don't use it for the judgment. What we're using it for is the attunement. I believe it was 3 points going into Storm Elder, and our attunement now just went up by like 20. The Burning Forest. I wonder what they're going to call it when it's burnt down. The Burnt Forest? The artist formerly known as the Burning Forest? The Land of Charcoal? Open the rift to travel back to the ancient era. And now I think we're going to get our first evolution of the next critter.
We have once again cornered a rift.
So yes, we are at 10,770. We need no more feathers. We have the feathers we need. We need only 730. So less than 4,000 bones we'll be able to get the Thicket of Blinding Light and look at rotating the build over to the thing we actually want. Clear? Excellent. Hopefully we'll be able to kill everything in here and get to the actual beast tuning so we can start murdering beasts that show up for bones. Bones, bones, bones. I'm not sure under what circumstances. It may be that this would explain. I have noticed previously that sometimes you go into a map that you've already partially discovered, like this one, almost completely discovered in this case. And I didn't know why, but it would make sense if we're heading back to sort of the same place to start evolving a new critter. At least to some degree. Right, down here should be the chest again. More ancient bones. Never gonna say no. All right, and here's the boss. And then we'll start the evolutions on the new boss. Yeah, this is the first tier boss. It went really quick. Dropped a few ancient bones. And we'll evolve it. Oh, damn it. Those were petals, not feathers. So we're not offered here for the first time, we're not offered bones. It's random which ones you get offered. What else would we like? Well, eventually, if worse comes to worse, we're going to want fangs and feathers. Those were petals, not feathers. Well, we'll go with either fangs or feathers. Drops a class-specific idol or drops runes. Gains wings for slowing cyclone ability or additional head that spits magma. Magma! Let's go with feathered wings. We're not able to choose extra bones. Maybe on the next evolve. There's like 5 things you can choose, and you get to choose from 3 out of the 5. Still, the build is definitely feeling much stronger than when I left yesterday. It was funny, it was when I arrived yesterday, it was feeling great. By the time I left, it wasn't feeling so good anymore. I was feeling pretty good again. Oh. New nemesis. Anything interesting? That's not particularly interesting. That one probably could get interesting. We'll go ahead and empower once and see where we get. He's dead. The first one's easy. If you empower it, second one's tougher. Empowered again. Well, there you are. No matter where you go, there you are. The Scorched Grove. It's a god, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone, this is Heorot. He's a god. And that's Raye, another god. Turns out that the cold god is cool, and the fire god blows. Okay, the cold and cool worked, but fire and... He's a flaming asshole. How about that? That works. I'll take that.
I do not have much longer. Go north. Retreat.
Hi, Yulia. How you doing?
And who
I'm not putting my weapon down.
Come.
No, you.
Much to discuss.
I should not have waited so long to come here. I am stronger now. I am ready to
Yes.
regain my honor.
Melee damage leached and increased cold damage. That actually seems pretty good. Not great, but... So, right now we'd be at 508 if we swap this in. 324, so that's a no. We finally finished it. Oh, so we did get 7 and 4. We got 4 into melee fire, and then a shitload into tier 7 into void pen and minion void pen. Disappointed. Yes. +1 to summon Thorn Totem. We definitely want to salvage that. We'll salvage that one too. Actually, we want to salvage that one. It's got minion damage, and we were a bit low on those affixes, so. Okay. Well, thing is, that's minion-y. Yeah, it is minion-y. But it's not good minion-y. That one's quite minion-y. Oh, we're not replacing that one ever. The reason that one looked minion-y is I spent a bunch of affixes to make it minion-y, but that thing is just way too good. Way too good. Minion health. Not a big deal. These get put away, and those get busted up for parts. 2, 4, 6. We got none of the thorn, which is what we mostly wanted from that. 1, 3, 5. None of those particularly important. We would like minion damage, please, although CDR is fine as well. Very nice. And lastly, can we get back some of those? We got back 2 of the minion shards. Purples. Purpleses. Will this fit? It will not. Will this fit? It will. That's yellows. We're looking for the legendaries. Sorry, the uniques. Boom, boom. All right, we will talk with Yulia. The living version. Mind you, we already dealt with the undead version of her in the future. It's confusing. Everything's confusing. Find the nomads. We need to talk to him. He needs us to procure some ingredients for his sick granddaughter. Spoiler! He doesn't have a granddaughter, therefore his boner meds. Sadly, I am serious. Although it is funny. It's a funny quest. And not everything's got to be serious. So I am fine with that. That's it. We want you headed back the other way. Sure, we'll take that. That's another level. 46 of them in total. And I think we go to 3 in Storm Elder, but I'll double check. It is 3 in Storm Elder. Next up, I must be missing one somewhere because I think the next one up is here. Give me a sec. 1, 5, 8, 4, 4, 1, 5, 8, 5, 3, 3, 1. Ah, one more there. That's where the missing one is. Presumably to open up that one? Yes. Okay. So, next is here. Freeze rate multiplier addition. And then there. Totem duration. Minion cold damage. Minion lightning damage. I can see those seem to be pretty okay. Yeah, sure. Nemesis. Increased armor. That was the one we were most interested in, I think. I'm not sure it got buffed at all. That one's got 126% increased stun chance. We're going to go ahead and empower it again, because we like to live dangerously, you know. This is the poison one. He's unpleasant. But also he's dead. Ah, you see, that's the beast, the elemental beast that we had beaten. And because we fought and empowered Nemesis, when we got him down to 40%, we spawned an extra mob, an extra critter, to help kick his fanny perpendicular. Never quite understood why it was a fanny perpendicular as opposed to a fanny, but sure. Don't question your elders, boys and girls, said every elder ever. All right, I am going to prepare myself for my inevitable death. We will be fighting here in the Wengari Fortress, the Wengari Matriarch and Patriarch, and historically, even in builds where I've not died to this point, which is not that uncommon, actually. I think the first time I died on this character was earlier this evening when I died. So it does happen. It's not that unusual for my build to get to this point without having died. Almost every time I die to the Wengari Matriarch and Patriarch. They just have my number. One of them is really good range. The other one is really good up close and personal. I always get the wrong one targeted initially, and the other one kicks my ass. It's just kind of embarrassing. And if they don't kill me there, they usually manage to make up for it later when we start running into them again in Echoes. Get out of here. Alright, that will likely improve our odds against the Matriarch and the Patriarch because we've got something going. Shrine of Souls. I'm sure what that does. Necrotic explosions around me. Well, I can't see the downside of me exploding intermittently to damage things. Here we are, Matriarch and Patriarch. Did we get the matriarch? I think we did. I think we got both of them. So it turns out, if all you need to do is run around like a crazy person while your pets and totems kill things, yeah, you can take care of them pretty easily. It was never in any doubt whatsoever. Seriously, they kill me all the time. I have no idea how much the shrine helped, but I can't imagine it hurt. Although I think it causes explosions around me, and I was running away from them the entire time, so might not have actually been much of a help. Epic shards. Pardon me as I loot while all of my pets and totems and stuff kill you and dance on your corpse. That quest is now completed. I think. Take the Blessed Horn and the Tundra, speak, acquire. Yep, back to town. Two more idle slots. Do I have I have 4 idle slots open. I don't need to worry about cold. Physical, probably. I guess when I was looking earlier, I couldn't find any freaking physical to save my proverbial life. Are you the visa aspect of the diaper? That aspect of the diaper, I just said. Okay. And there's a new class I want. Angry infant class. Aspect of the diaper. Probably not ever going to make the game. Sad to say. Ward per second, minion damage, and void resist. That one's got block and block effectiveness and health. And an elemental damage. Elemental damage is also good. Critical strike chance not that great. Minion health. I don't think we need that. Alright. Stun immunity after using teleport. Increase cold damage. Conceivable. Critical strike chance and health. Conceivable. Cast marrow shards. Not worth. When you transplant. Aura of Decay. Chance to fear on hit. Those could both work together. I'll buy that. It's health costs. Fit anyway. Necrotic spell. Damage per skeletal mage. Physical spell. Critical strike chance. I just don't think those two ever go together.
Yes?
Actually. Bloop. Minion damage. We have lots of those. Ward per second. What else would we want there, if not? Attunement, probably. That would be pretty obvious. Damn it. Alright, how does this one stack up to that one? Critical strike chance doesn't matter. Minion damage 21, minion damage 18, so it's 60. There it's 57. It's got cold resist, which we have more than enough of. I think this one's probably better. So we'll bust this one up for parts.
I see.
And now we're off to get the components for the old man's boner meds. It's great to be the hero, you know? We all want to be the hero of our own stories. Alright, we go in here. We kill one of the ice spiders for a fang, I think. Then we get a liver from an Eber. Or Eber. E-B-E-R. And the old man has his boner meds. Yep, we got that. We were overcapped on cold, weren't we? Yeah, we're way overcapped on cold and light. Which means that we can actually get rid of any of the elemental defenses or idols, just replace them with fire, which would be more effective. Being 47. Here. We'll grab that 1 point that we needed. Which was here, right? Yep, that one. And that opens up that Eternal Storm, where presumably our next 5 points will be going. Don't know that for a fact, but assume it. That Eber gives us the last component we need for the boner meds. You guys done playing with your food? It's so hard to get good help. Head back to Hailboria real fast. Cash in the boner med quest. I didn't grab the stupid idols.
Yes.
There we go. 2 more idol slots. We have 3 to go. 3 to go. So, fire. Oh, cold is back down to just the cap. Why was it so high? Don't know. Physical. Necrotic. Fire. That's necrotic. Well, we do need necrotic. But it's not physical. That's not physical. Note, how does the find think this has physical? I do not understand their find mechanic. Chance to, on melee kill, to heal a random minion to full health. Increased physical. Oh, no. See, physical pen. Increased physical damage. Freeze rate multiplier. Increased physical damage. That one's almost good. Shock on hit. Physical damage. Stop. Minion cooldown recovery speed and physical damage. That one might be good enough to actually make the grade even without. Increased minion melee attack speed. Melee attack speed. Not so good. Physical. Any of these. Yay! Somebody's got physical. A little. And that's poison. So what are we at right now? We are at physical necrotic fire. That has a little physical. How about fire resist, huh? 9%? Well, and 2% health. Yeah, but that's like 20 or something at my level. Fire resistance. How about we actually put the entire thing there? armor and 11% fire resistance and 12% fire resistance. Gee, that seems really good, as now we're almost capped there. So, 4 below cap, overcapped, capped exactly, not bad, pretty good, weak, and overcapped. Our resists are now officially don't suck. Oh, we didn't talk to the old man. Or did we? Yeah, we did. Didn't we? Yeah, we did. Always pick up your shards, boys and girls. Oh, I already killed them. Let's blow our horn. Sorry about that. Good evening, Mr. Dude. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing pretty much the same old, same old. As I have said in the past, 99% of all people are kind of in and having an average day. If I say I'm having an average day, if I'm okay, everything's meh, that's average. And as long as I'm at least average, that actually, my mind qualifies as good. And the old saying is, no news is good news, and yeah, I kind of have to agree with that. I am heading towards the end of as much of the story as we're going to do on this character. I'm going to finish that off and then probably just do one of the endgame maps. Just to sort of put a bow on, not on this character, but at least on the evening. As the character isn't even, like, actually close to being finished yet, so. You won't be finished until we can get that chest and change into the main part of the build, where we actually find out if the build's any good. I mean, this is okay. It's not great. Ooh, that is not something we want to get close to because he's a champion, and he killed my mage for the first time. My mage's first death came from that little rat bastard. Not so little. The main thing with him isn't that he's a champion and therefore tough. The main problem with him is that he's a champion and therefore tough, but he's also small. And so I didn't even realize I was fighting a champion until I was dead. Actually, until after I was dead. Alright, so we are now going to well, not quite yet, actually. What do you the nerve. Just the nerve. Okay, we've got 4 skills that we've skilled up in. All right, we've got 18 to 19 in Summon Storm Totem. Storm Totem sitting at 18, going to 19. Spell lightning damage per 10% shock chance. And lightning damage per chance to shock attackers, okay? And 18 to 19 in Summon Thorn Totem. 18 to 19. Shredding Armor, always good. 19 to 20 in Spriggan form. 19, 20. I didn't notice. Another point in Deep Roots. And 16 to 17 in Gathering Storm. 16. Stormbolt shock chance and melee damage to shocked. Now we're going to open the rift and confront a rift beast. But this is a not evolved rift beast, so it's not going to be too tough. Oh, lots of ancient bones, which is what we need. I have about 200 and something ancient bones of my own. Definitely is playing a lot better. So yesterday started strong and then got weaker. Today we started weak and got stronger. It's just science. I have no idea why it's science, but I'm going with it anyway. All right, big ice elemental in here. Big dead ice elemental in here. Got like 4 more maps to go through, and then we'll hit monoliths for at least 1. If you're not familiar with the game, monoliths are the primary endgame. So in that way, they're kind of similar, although not really that similar, but somewhat similar to the mapping system in PoE. Familiar with that? If you're not familiar with that, it's a little bit like the monolith system here. I like redundancy. Defining my definitions by the definitions I defined them by is not advisable from a logical point of view, but it's what I've got. So there we go. Level is 48. Yes, it's the Atlas wannabe, if you will. It's obviously not as deeply put together. It does have some nice subsystems in it. It's not as deep as the PoE, but, you know, PoE has had a decade plus to refine that system. This one still needs work, but it's not bad. I believe we are now going for Eternal Storm. Why? It's Groost! No, Grail, sorry. Where's Groost? Which game has Groost? Oh, that's PoE. PoE has Groost. We've got Grail. Grail's much nicer than Groost. Groost is kind of a dick. Okay, he's not kind of a dick. He's just a plain old Schwantz. Groost is what, Act 2 in PoE, I think? And then again in Act 7? Oh, we've got more beastage after we kill all these people who are shooting things at us, being total pee-holes. Pardon my language. I shouldn't use a word like hole. And here comes the unevolved beast. More ancient bones. That look like about 300 or 400 of them? Something like that. Dem bones, dem bones, dem ancient bones. We'll probably need something like 3,000 more before we can swap over to a real Thorns build, which I've never played. I don't think I've ever played it in any ARPG ever. It's always been sort of antithetical to my style of play. What do you mean? I'm supposed to let them hit me? Whoop, that's Ghost again. And down goes the champion. Would you freaking not? And the Tomb of Morditas.
All that's left is locating the lance.
Significantly better now than it was earlier. Take the Lance of Heorot.
We have the lance. Which, but tell me more of this immortal.
The lance was found.
Journey.
Yeah, the lance was found, a bond was formed, blah, 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 blah. My final form will be much what you see here, only even saggier.
I know things are grave. Of course.
Cannot recommend.
To be honest, all that is left is to take the lance and bless
And that is, I believe, all of the points. Miss T, howdy do. Let's see. Currently, we have the extra companion has been worthwhile. So I think we want to keep that. Oh, my build. Well, yeah, that's pretty saggy too. I've lost a lot of weight. Which is good. But not necessarily attractive. That's a lot of melee attack speed. Holy crap. 5, 7, 10, 13. And we got 6 out. That's a little on the disappointing side. 1, 3, 5, 7. We got 6 out. That's much better. I like that much better. We are going to sell those.
Yes.
And we need... You got sun. Very nice. It's equivalent of February, so... Yeah, that's pretty much right smack dab in the really cold part of the year, isn't it? A little bit of sun helps, even if it's just with seasonal affective disorder. If you're familiar with that, the appropriately named SAD. Well, we know we've got 3 open there. Let's see if we've got any Primalist type 3 horizontal. No, we've got 4 horizontal. 3 horizontal. Poison on hit, increase minion melee attack. That one's disappointing, I gotta say. Oh, this one I did set aside. Chance to kill, to replenish, to refresh a random companion ability. Increase minion melee attack. And it's a 4 anyway. We'd have to do some major rearrangement. All right, what do we got? Where would we like either necrotic or physical, preferably physical, but we went looking for that. We didn't find much. So necrotic resistance. That why? Why does this show up? That's void. It's not necrotic. 11 necrotic. We can do better. See, 16 necrotic. Now that's better. Our necrotic resistance is now 64. Much better. So, now that we have finished off all of the required story, by which I mean we've got all of our idols, and it's not showing up. There it is. We have all, you can't see it, underneath my head. There is text for passive points rewards, 15 out of 15, and idle slot rewards, which we just showed you was 8 out of 8. So we have all of the campaign required bonuses out. So I can now go straight to the end of time and start doing. It says that this is a level 58. They did not update these numbers, I don't believe. I think that's actually a level 62 area. I'm level 48. I could die. Been playing a lot of WoW lately, just so much to do when you have many alts. Believe me, I understand about that. For a long time, I was at the cap number of characters you could have on an account at 50. And let's see, right now in Guild Wars 2, I am waiting for a sale on character slots so that I can get up to 46, which will be 5 for each class and 1 more for key farms. I'm pretty sure I can do better than my current weapon selection, but I'm just going to run 1 map and then I'm going to call it an evening. And I will go over my gear and whatnot off stream to be ready for tomorrow's most likely stream. It's possible because of the upcoming PoE 2 League that I might veg out tomorrow. We will see. Oh, I did hit level 50. That opened up the last. Yeah, it did open up the last of the skill things for me. I will start putting points into it right now. Let's see. But first of all, I want to make sure we are putting our next 5 points into Eternal Storm. And the skill we want there, I don't want to use the Etera one. Instead, I want to use one of the skills. Wow, flashbang. I flashbanged myself. Etera's Blessing, Maelstrom. Ooh, Summon Spriggan. Summon Spriggan sounds good. If I'm going to be using Summon Spriggan, I might as well start summoning Spriggans now. Oh, I have to put more points in Dryad to start summoning Spriggans. Shit. That was a good idea. How about Maelstrom? Maelstrom? Anyone? Maelstrom? Maelstrom. We can put points into Maelstrom. Right. 10 points into Maelstrom and a point of fact. Let's see. We are going 2-2-1 1-2-1-1. So 2-2-1. 1-1. 2-1. Evidently, I've got 2 more points. Oh, that was 10. Why did I think I had 10, not 11? No. And 1 more. Over there. Bloop. So what did we get for our Maelstroms? Surround you with a freezing Maelstrom. That sounds fun. Maelstrom stacks have a longer duration. Each stack of Maelstrom grants you increased dodge. Cyclone, it no longer can freeze. But instead of cold, it does physical. I don't think I actually want that right now, actually. When I'm done, we'll want that. But right now, I don't think we actually want that. So I'm going to respecialize 1 point. And now, do we have it back? Weird. Oh, that's right. There it is. Yeah, it's there. And we want to replace that with Maelstrom. Okay. Which way are we gonna go? Well, money is of no interest to me. I mean, unless someone's giving it to me, in which case, obviously, yeah, okay. We're going here. Level is 62. I'm 48. No, I am now, 50 now. That is correct. Whoop. Oh, don't stand there. Don't stand in the bad. It's fine, everyone. What are we trying? And we have to destroy 2 Venom Spires. Champion. I think fighting a champion might be ill-advised. Did I get ambushed? I might have gotten ambushed, which would be... What is going on here? Oh, Venom Spire Guardian. That's what happened there. The big critter there was summoned because I got a boss critter down to 40%, more or less. And that was the Guardian. When I got it below 40%, it summoned up my big friend. Wow. Venom Spire is it's harder to kill than the freaking Guardian or the Champions. All right. One of the things is the mobs that are going to appear in the map are always determined randomly, but once a particular flavor of mob starts showing up, they keep showing up. You know, until you go move on to the next map. Which means that the annoying mobs here are going to keep showing up until I move on to the next map. Those ones, the big freaking larval lava spitters, which really is just, it's gross, it's unsanitary. At least that one had the common decency to drop a purple item. Whoops, see, they keep putting me into the I'm almost dead state. Not a fan. Those things. Depending, I do not recall ever having quite so much trouble as I've had this season with mobs in the past, where getting the same kind of mobs over and over again were causing so many problems. They have been really problematic for all 3 of the builds I have made so far for this build, for this league. This is not good. I'm going to go out on a limb. We've got the Guardian and 2 of those fucking spitters. I am out of healing potions. Got one. That will help. Oh, there is a champion there. I think that's... Nope. More healing potions would be good. Thank you. That's the Spire Guardian. Have we killed everything except the Spire? I think we have. Nope. Yeah, I think that's the Spire that's shooting at us, actually. Which means that all we have to do now is kill the Spire. All. That's all. He's going to shoot like that. That's interesting. The spires are not attacked. By the totems. That's why they're so hard. That doesn't seem right at all to me. But we have finished our first map, our first echo, our first monolith. Two more points. Good XP. 3 more points into the Maelstrom. Is that right? From 11 to 14? No, from 10 to 13. Three, 4. 3, 4. There we go. So we're more mana efficient with our Maelstrom. Can be cast repeatedly to create multiple Maelstroms. Each Maelstrom lasts 7 seconds. So all the way out here, if you have 6 stacks, you gain Frenzy. 6 or more, you gain Haste. Maelstrom costs less mana. That will be good. And it deals more damage multiplicative. A couple of 3-wides. Let's see. Melee damage while transformed. We're not doing transformation. When transforming back. Thing is, we are going to be transformed, aren't we? We are going to be transformed. Because eventually, the plan for this is to be a... there we go. A Thorns build, theoretically. In which case, that will be useful. No. Any of these need worthwhile busting up. No, just sell those. Yes. All right, I have completed.
Take care.
My first map. It was worth a couple more levels. I am going to call it here for the evening. So, one of two things for tomorrow. Either I'll be back here continuing to play this character, or I'll be taking a day off to ready myself mentally, physically, emotionally, and psychologically for PoE 2 on Friday, which I believe starts at 2 p.m. Pacific, which is 3 hours earlier than I usually start. In the past, when I'm enjoying myself in PoE, and that's a very dicey prospect in PoE 2, I have tried to stream for 8 hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No promises. If I'm having fun, I may stream extensively. No. Well, 24 hours across the weekend, maybe. Because I have done that before. I have done 8 hours each day or more for new PoE leagues. But it would require me to be having a very good time in PoE 2. And to date, that's not the case. Now, I will also note that people are calling this, and I'm quoting, the patch where they fixed the game. From the patch notes I have seen, a lot of it seems good. We'll have to see how it plays. But when there's a headline on some web page from some game site talking about how they've tried to improve how the game plays and is more fun. Because fun often wasn't the case in PoE 2, especially the 0.2 drop, their last drop, which was curdled misery. But we'll see, I guess, on Friday. So, either back here again tomorrow. I'm going to spend some time off stream trying to improve the character. I may play him a little to see if I can get the bones I need for the chest piece, and see if we can get it built or get it ready to be built for the next stream. But that's my plans for the next few days. As always, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it very, very much. Either back tomorrow or Friday. Tomorrow would be at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. Or on Friday, probably a little bit past 2 p.m. Pacific, because there's usually a queue. And so usually about 5 to 15 minutes after the hour is when I can get in. And I don't want to start streaming until I'm actually able to start playing. But that's my plan for the upcoming few days, the weekend. Back tomorrow or Friday. Again, thank you all very much for hanging out. Hopefully the rest of your Wednesday night or Thursday morning goes great. Take care. And ciao for now. Bye, guys.